Pantoja versus Van. This is an amazing fight. I thought they were going to save this one for the Paramount card because it would be good to have Van on the Paramount card because it's going to be a big deal and Van is very promotable and it'll be good for the flyweight division. But I think this is a massive fight for the flyweight division. Van has got all the hype in the world after that Brandon Royval win. I'm glad they didn't leave it too long. That might be a good thing that we didn't leave this until January or February or March. Worst case scenario. It's good that Pantoja is also staying active, and Pantoja, you guys know I got a show with Demetrius Johnson. He's on the horizon of GOAT himself. You heard Dana White say it, the record for wins in the flyweight division, the record for finishes in the flyweight division. If he goes out there and beats Joshua Van, the number one contender, this is a top contender in his division, a real title fight defense, not some Asakura bullshit. If he does that, we're going to have some real difficult conversations again. Okay, if you're not already having those conversations based on the level of talent in the division. I know DJ upholds a lot because I think a lot of people underrate the legacy of Demetrius Johnson, and the title defenses that he had cannot be ignored. But legacy in the modern era is extremely potent. It really, really is. Everyone is really good at what they do. And Pantoja is dealing with a lot of them. I reckon Pantoja's going to win this one. I reckon he's going to... The thing is with Van, I like Van. Dana White said it in the announcement. He said this guy seemingly popped up out of nowhere. And he did pop up out of nowhere. Because he started training 6 years ago. I nearly said 6 or 7 years ago, but people have really annoyed me with that recently. Can't even say logical things about 6 or 7 years ago anymore. But yeah, he started training about 7 years ago, I would say. That's what he says. That's when he started his MMA training. And on the feet, if he's got some natural talent in striking, that can be you can overcome that level of inexperience. But when Pantoja's on his back, I really believe that 6 years of experience is going to become very obvious. So I'm going to say that Alejandro Pantoja makes easy work of Joshua Van, gets his back in the first or second round, and submits him with a rear naked choke. Alejandro Pantoja 6 or 7 years ago was fighting the likes of Figueiredo and Askar Askarov and top contenders in the UFC. And then just a few years later, he was fighting for titles in the UFC flyweight division when Van wasn't even on the roster yet. And I think that is a level of experience that I don't think Van can overcome, especially in the jiu-jitsu and the scrambles and the grappling. Plus, Van's a little bit small for the division as well, so Pantoja's physicality advantage that he has over guys larger than him in the division is going to be even more apparent in this matchup. So I'm going to go with Pantoja getting this one done, early submission. But if Van wins, you got a superstar in the flyweight division.